You're going about your day, high vibing, and feeling that sweet spot. You know that feeling where everything in life is in harmony because you're in this flow state of allowing and your well-being is off the charts. You are inspired to keep doing the inner work because, you're obviously alchemizing your fear-based energy into soul energy. And although you might not be exactly where you want to be, in this present moment, which is all there ever is, everything is in balance and unfolding in your favor, where it's almost impossible for anyone to mess with your mojo. Well, almost impossible. Just when you believe you've gotten a handle on this spiritual awakening thing, along comes trouble. Damn it. I know, right? There it is, old reliable paying a visit to you, reminding you that you still get triggered and thrown out of alignment by, life. It is very frustrating, and quite frankly, you're over it. But guess what? It's all perfect and divinely orchestrated for your highest good. And while this information is helpful, those daily exchanges of energy between you and everything you encounter throughout your day will continue to provoke and poke at your inner bear until you take their ability to influence you away and gift it back to yourself. So, come on inside, and I will showcase 4 ways you may have experienced at one time or another that have pulled you and me both out from our heart space and back into our ego, and how to access the tools you already possess to bring you back to center. Let's do this. Hello, and welcome to my channel. I'm Izzy, your soul energy alchemist, and I'm here to help you embrace your IZ-NESS. So, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The journey is the destination. Our soul orchestrates it all, and its only objective is for you to love yourself fully and without judgment, which includes the emotions we react with from the pain we have embodied most of our lives through the process of our thoughts. And because the journey is everything, the cyclical aspect of life, moving as a spiral and not as a timeline, is meant to continuously mirror back to us our fear. The more influential and destructive the fear is within each individual, the more it will come back around until it is processed out. So let's get right to it. This first one is one that none of us can hide from. It will always and without question reflect our bullshit back to us, throwing us into misalignment. And that is, number 1, our intimate relationships. Since you are always magnetizing your like as water seeks its own level, you are staring directly back at you. The mirror you sometimes do not want to look into, but there it is, in yo face. In fact, it is never them. I know, it's hard to hear that. And while they do have their own soul journey and are responsible for their chosen behaviors, they are only confirming what you believe you not only deserve, but are willing to tolerate. We teach people how to treat us, And they only come in because you have invited them in. But as a side, you should never agree to being abused, verbally, emotionally, or physically. Remove yourself immediately from that environment as quickly and as safely as is possible. But to backtrack, notice how the same person can affect some other people very differently. Some might say, "This is the most wonderful woman I have ever known." Another person might say, "That lady ruined my life." You never get what you want, but you are always getting who you are being. Before I aligned my energetic body, I was a willing participant in the emotionally unavailable partners I attracted into my life. I thought accepting breadcrumbs in whatever form they took was, my way of being the cool girl, understanding, low maintenance. And even in the best of circumstances, there was always this underlying belief that amazing things just never happened for me. I was numb to disappointment and heartache, and so those triggers became my mantra, my reason for playing a cameo role in the movie of my life, which in turn became my very existence. Today, I stay in charge of my energy when relating to others and get to enjoy the game of how they respond to my balanced energetic field. People who know you well will start to wonder why you seem different, because their energy is used to your old energy behaving in a totally different way. But it's all happening on a subconscious level. But you know the truth. So keep them guessing. Number 2. Moolah. Money. Money is only, and I'll repeat, only an exchange of energy. The paper, the coin, the gold bar, the crypto doesn't hold any inherent meaning. You hear that? But the meaning we give it. Your financial life and your intimate life, they sort of hold the same heft, okay? They mimic each other because they are both given equal and substantial importance in the world of duality. So we put our power in their hands by agreeably accepting as truth what we learn from external influences. The meaning behind the distribution of wealth, who's blessed and who's not, the work yourself to death ways of thinking in order to be successful. And we know now about the thinking, right? I mean, we can agree on this. So send me a money bag emoji below if you hear me. And if you've ever even experienced, a change, as you have changed your energy, have you experienced the change? Now, since I've been pretty open about my intimate life before my awakening, well, then my financial life spoke for itself as well. But today, money flows to me effortlessly, always showing up when I need it to, as a direct reflection of the story I now tell myself about money and my beliefs about money. And as I raise my vibration even more, that money will continue to grow in spades and value as my beliefs about it equal that of my inner state of being. Number 3, feeling out of control, vulnerable, in an undesirable position of power. A great example for me was road rage. I really try. I really do. This triggers me every time. My daughter says she lives to be in the car with me while I'm driving. It's not my best work. But I've given myself permission to see it for what it is while accepting the old patterns of, even for the habits that make me cringe. For you, it may be, asking for a raise at work. You feel vulnerable, maybe even small. Or it could be angst between your in-laws. Or it could be as simple as being in line at the store. Sometimes that grocery line will have you rolling your eyes so far back into your skull that you catch yourself acting like your teenager. But you are at the mercy of these people in front of you, and so your power, is being challenged. And we encounter these power struggles every day. It takes place from the fear-based energetic dance happening between our individual bodies from, when we're relating to others. And each one of us has a polarized field within. And those egos fight for control. However, once you alchemize your energy, you'll reposition yourself out of that place of wobble, okay? Lastly, number 4 has quite a few labels. And at the end of the day, they represent abandonment and the need for validation. Feeling unseen, unheard, not chosen. These kinds of actions set off a sonic boom effect of mistrust, insecurity, and low self-worth. They initially occur when someone has either intentionally or unintentionally caused pain by leaving, dying, dishonoring your relationship, or not showing up in a healthy way. And sometimes we react with a constant need for reassurance in, every other relationship that occurs after that one or within that one. And sometimes we just take everything as a personal slight. Hello? And the ways this can play out in our lives is brought on by the triggers that tap into those nerves. Something that drives me nuts is being interrupted when I'm speaking, or when my feelings get discounted or minimized. Deep, deep scars of, not being seen or heard. For you guys, it can be when a group ignores your ideas for a work project or doesn't consider you for, whatever reason when making plans or decisions that, directly affect you. And it appears as though it's someone else's shortcoming. And it is, but it is your energy that is attracting that to you. And if you can accept whatever comes in as this is all happening for a reason, you can then step away from the, quote, negative reactions you may have to now looking at any situation as, okay, what is this telling me about myself? Remember, we are focusing inward, not outward. So feel free to comment below on the ways in which you get triggered. And don't feel embarrassed if those patterns regurgitate over and over again. I mean, this is why you're here. To add to feeling invisible, I have mentioned my childhood home a few times, and I'll reiterate that I had to manage the emotions and behaviors of the adults that completely invalidated my true essence. As someone who should have been able to be a child, I was seen and heard as my inauthentic self. So I was not able to attach in a healthy way to who I truly was. And although, my parents meant well, they were good people. They did show us love and cared for us, but they had their own unaddressed stuff. So, you take the story of my needs not getting met as they should, There was my father and mother, present but absent. Then there was my grandfather and my Nana. So to talk about my intimate partners, Grandpa was a stable, healthy male influence in my life. And he passed away when I was an impressionable 17. 17. And my relationship with men changed on a dime. I was lost. The pain was too much, and I was too young to grieve it properly. So I internalized it. I searched for him in every man I met, only to find my father, which prompted me to energetically seek from them what he couldn't provide, to see me as worthy of love and acceptance, even if it was just, words at the expense of the actions I actually deserved. And it was my normal. Until it was not. And boy, once I learned to stand in my own energetic frame, feel my feelings, and observe my thoughts without believing them, is when I stopped chasing and started attracting what I needed and desired. Today, I barely have impractical thoughts, and I don't have many negative experiences in my life. Sometimes I go, and I think about, did I even think about something for the last 30 minutes? And it's awesome, because you are dissolving, everything is just neutral. As the labels of duality begin to fall away and become obsolete, including the people and experiences that once knocked you back into your ego. And it doesn't mean you will never have to go through anything difficult. It just means that instead of reacting to them from an emotional position, which is fear, you are now responding to them with the unconditional love energy that is the soul. It is all energy. And you are in charge of yours. You get to choose who you share it with, how you choose to share it, and to what extent you give access to it. So if any of these 4 examples resonate with you, I want you to take a moment and sit with how they are appearing in your life. But now you are acknowledging and taking ownership for how you are showing up in your relationships with yourself and everyone else. Doing this without judgment, but with kindness, gentleness, and compassion always. My final words in this video: we experience what our soul contracts are meant to experience, made easier or more challenging by how quickly we can surrender and trust in that divine plan. In turn, we also have to live in this 3D realm of duality, which is created by our thoughts. And because it is fear-based, as long as we believe the thoughts our subconscious mind uses to control us, we are bound to recreate that which we fear. But fear is not who you are. You are a soul. Okay, guys, that's a wrap. Use your light to serve it forward today and show gratitude for all that you have in this present moment. Doing everything from your badass rock and roll heart. Until next time, I thank you.